Alright then, but this one here is going to be mine and mine alone to go and take down, so whenever you are ready, Gohan continues, then I want you to go and show me as to what you're really made of, and I'll be happy to go as far as to show you on why you could never surpass the original. And since I already know that what is standing before me isn't going to be a simple cakewalk of a battle, Gohan adds, what I will, however, go as far as to tell you, by the time that this is over, only one of us here will end up in having to be the last one standing out here, and that someone is going to be me, and so now let's go! To which it was only within that very moment as both Gohan and Shadow Beast Gohan had wasted little time in having to collide was when the demon scientist Sugami then went on to quickly chime in. Oh, this isn't good, for I never would have expected to go as far as to be forced in having to go and use this Shadow Demon against these mortals this early, for his synchronization isn't as perfect as the others. However, it appears as though he is still able to hold his own out there, as this is far from an ideal situation to have us go and be in within the moment, Sugami continues, for these mortals are far more composed than I had originally anticipated for them to go and be, as they have went and seen this kind of threat before, as that much is obvious by the way they are all seemingly having to go about this situation together, and so because of that very fact, I must hurry and try to think of a counterattack against them fast, because if they are somehow able to go and discover a method in going as far as to go and take...
Oh yeah, this is why I said ain't somebody just standing here just waiting to fuck some shit up, cause people came to his house tripping, and you know how he be about that. He ain't about that life. You come to Beer's planet tripping, you already know you finna catch some work. Shout out to that guy that destruction Beer's, cause you see he's finna get active.
my
Yeah.
army down, then I'm going to, just so that we are clear here, Beerus interrupts upon having to see Sugami turn his head by noticing Broly and Beerus, with Beerus having to then chime in. Let me be the first to go as far as to hereby now remind you that if I truly wanted to, I could destroy you with the slightest flick of my wrist when compared to some of your more troublesome allies who are currently out there. But don't you worry, because I have special plans for you, demon, because you see, Beerus continues, and I was actually having quite the pleasant day before you and your horde of outlawed rejects had went and decided to go and ruin all of that for me, and so I just want you to know that I just relish at moments such as these, and especially when fools like yourself finally go on to realize on how small and how insignificant they truly are, just before they wind up going and getting exactly what is already owed to them. And so now, do you see this pitiful excuse of worthless existence that is standing here before us, Broly? For this is one of just many worthless parasites who plan to erase everything that you cherish, Beerus continues, and as these very plans just so happen to include your friends, your peace, and your very existence, which are all on the line here, as this one here aims to rip it all away from you, which is why he came onto this world to begin with here, Broly. However, since this creature here doesn't appear to fully understand the danger that he is currently up against, what do you say you ought to go and give this little worm a little reminder without having to go and take his life so quickly, Beerus adds, in going as far as to punish this worthless excuse for a life form by revealing to him the fruits of your incredible battle power now, will you? Since he clearly now appears to not get the message here, Broly, and so now go, to which as Broly was then shown exactly having to go and do, this had now became the exact moment where full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly was then shown having to reignite his power onto the surface, as Beerus then went on to quickly continue. Good, just like that, Saiyan, but do remember that he doesn't just threaten you here, mortal, but this creature here just so happens to threaten those whom you also hold dear, along with your allies and the ones who have accepted and trusted you, Broly. And so now why don't you go as far as to go and show this monster?
I mean, just look at the framework right there. Shouts out to y'all. Hopefully you get your screenshot. Because once again, we got Super Saiyan 3 Broly, for those who haven't been paying attention, because in this storyline, the boy Super Saiyan 3 controlled and all of that. You dig, been training over there. That's why Beerus is like, you know what? Since you a scientist, I'm gonna let Broly fuck you up because I know you ain't even fucking with Broly in base form, let alone Super Saiyan 3. Hell, that's just overkill, Beerus. He said, yeah, since you look at his face though. That's straight. Yeah. I got you.